my breakfast this morning, I decided to make a yogurt parfait out of my granola cereal. This is shelf stable and it has 150 calories and 2 grams of fat, 0 saturated fat, 30 carbs, 4 fibers, and 5 grams of protein. So this is technically a smart carb and a power fuel. I don't think, well, actually, no, it's not. I apologize. This is supposed to be, you're supposed to have 4 ounces of skim milk with this, so that makes it a complete power fuel and a smart carb. That's how that works. I apologize. So instead, I'm not having it that way. I made a parfait with the non-fat Greek yogurt. 113 grams of that is, or I think 3/4 of a cup. Yeah, 3/4 of a cup. I weigh it. Is 90 calories. So I was going to have this as my second power fuel, not in place of the milk. I just wasn't going to count the milk. This is how I usually do it. Anyway, so what did I do to make this? I put some granola on the bottom. I put a tablespoon of the Swerve, mixed it into my yogurt with enough maple flavoring to taste. And then I just made layers, granola, yogurt, and then granola on top. And underneath the granola is a drizzle of my sugar-free syrup, which is 0. It's 15 calories for 2 tablespoons. And I didn't use that. I didn't even use a tablespoon. Okay, so what am I having for my morning snack is my, if I get hungry, I will have this probiotic shake. I'm not going to make it until I'm ready to have it because I use ice to make it, and it'll just be all melty. So yeah, that's it for my breakfast and my mid-morning snack. I'll be back for lunch. Hello. It is lunchtime, and Jim and I are out. He just went into his AutoZone, and I just went into Dunkin' to get us some coffee. And I'm having one of my favorite things to have with coffee for lunch is my strawberry protein meal bar by Kellogg's. Let's see, it has 180 calories. It weighs, does it say here? Oh yeah, 1.59 ounces and 6 grams of fat. Saturated fat is 4 grams and carbs is 21 grams. Dietary fiber is 9. And protein is 12. So this is a flex meal bar, and it is worth 1 power fuel and 1 smart carb at 180 calories. That's like perfect. And I will see you, I guess, at dinner time, unless I have a snack. Okay. For my dinner tonight, I've decided to go with the Nutrisystem frozen entree chicken parmesan. This entree has 270 calories, 9 grams total fat, 6 grams of dietary fiber, 17 proteins, and let's see, we have 2 grams of saturated fat and 32 carbs. So I made this in the microwave. What I did is I put a half cup of the V8 low sodium juice underneath to count for 1 vegetable, and also because I think it needed it. And then I topped it with, I have a power fuel from this afternoon that I didn't use. This is a 1/4 cup for 80 calories or 28 grams of mozzarella cheese that I put on top, and I just cooked it away in the microwave. Here we have 2 cups of lettuce and about a 1/4 cup of the roasted red pepper. So I'm not making the 4 today of the vegetables. I'm doing like 3.5. What can I say? Was out today, didn't have time for a vegetable. So I've also added 7 grams of my homemade croutons, which I'm really enjoying, for free, and a tablespoon of my Skinny Girl balsamic vinaigrette, and I put some Green Goddess seasoning on top of that, the Trader Joe brand. And of course, last but not least, my grated gold for an extra 1 tablespoon, 20 calories. Because it is freshly grated at home. So you get more bang for your buck on that one. And on to dessert. For my dessert tonight, I am having the strawberry shortcake cupcake. It is a frozen item from Nutrisystem. It has 130 calories. It has 3.5 grams of fat, half of saturated fat, 18 carbs, 3 dietary fibers, and 5 grams of protein. And I topped it off with 2 tablespoons of the Great Value whipped topping for 20 calories, or 25 calories, I should say. And that's counting as an extra. And I did drizzle a little bit of chocolate sugar-free syrup, Great Value brand on top, which is counting for 0. And that does it for my eating today. And here is the result of a very mini visit to Walmart and Michaels today, and the gas station. So I'll show you Michaels. These are really cute little decorations that I plan to use for next year on my cookie baskets. If you watch my video for Easter baking, I made cookie baskets and decorated them with candy and chocolate. So I thought these were cute, and I only paid $3. I would not pay $9.99, which is, they were 70% off. And as I'm looking at it, yeah, they would have been $9.99. I don't think so. I would just make little chocolate ones the way I did on those other baskets. But I thought they were cutesy, so for $3 I went for it. Didn't break the bank. This is adorable. This is a silicone mold. And on the back it shows you, this is what they should look like. I guess they're kind of like, you can make donuts, or you could make mini cakes, which is probably what I would do. I thought they were adorable, so I bought it for $9.99. I didn't bother to go on Amazon. I just saw it and I thought it was very cute. So hopefully it will work when I go to use it, whenever I go to use it. Maybe over the summertime, if we go to a picnic or something, I'll make something with this. On to the gas station. Okay, I did go to BJ's Wholesale Club. Thankfully, I have this membership if I use it for nothing else but gas for the year, because having the credit card, I get an additional 10 cents off. So I paid $4.179 per gallon with a total of $51.26 for today in expenditure. Gas across the river in Dutchess County, here it's like, the cheapest I saw today was $4.29, and across the river it's like at $4.50 in some places. So this is extra good deal, even though it's horrible for us around here. This is the line's unbelievable in the middle of the day. So I don't mind waiting. It's bringing me back to the 70s when I was everybody's gas girl. I had to go every morning at 6 o'clock on our designated day with everybody's cars. Crazy. Anyway, moving on to Walmart. Okay, so I bought unsweetened almond milk for $2.31. Used to pay under $2 for almond milk, but here we are. I did pick up a teriyaki, the sugar-free GUs that I love. This has gone up a lot to $3.93, but I really enjoy it, and I use it sparingly anyway, by the tablespoon usually. So I picked up one as a backup because you can't find it. I looked for the sweet chili sauce. Haven't seen it in, oh my God, eons. So I grabbed that. Finally, my strawberry bars. $11.64 for the box of 12, so they're under $1 a piece. And on the Nutrisystem plan, they count for 1 smart carb and 1 power fuel. So it is a meal replacement for breakfast or lunch. And you could also have it for a snack at night. So I really enjoy them, and I was happy to find them because I like to have a variety. On to shortening, $4.98, ridiculous for the store brand. But I bought it because this is what I fry with, and it's not going to go bad. It's going to stay in a cool place in my cabinet. And the reason I use this to fry is because it becomes solidified. And usually when I fry, it's a rare occasion, but it's a lot. So I use a lot of oil. So it's nice that it goes back to solid. And moving on to, could not find any sugar-free Jell-O in lemon. I did find lime and I grabbed it. They only had strawberry and lime and orange. I don't like orange. And I found banana cream sugar-free. First time. And it's up to $1.24. But I grabbed it because I know I'm not going to find it if I go to look for it. so I'll have it on hand. It doesn't go bad. And for Jim, we got a bag of cheese ravioli for $2.98. This is frozen cauliflower, which I am going to create a Nutrisystem friendly version of something that Kim, a girl in her phone, made this past week in her lunch prep. She called it sticky cauliflower, I believe. I'm going to make something similar, but I'm going to make it Nutrisystem friendly. So we'll see what I come up with. So that was $1. And these are for the girl, Miss Corabella, 84 cents for green beans. And this is for me. I enjoy seltzer every so often, 88 cents for the Polar. So my grand total at Walmart was $34.89. And the last thing on the list was a birthday card for my baby boy. He is turning 35 tomorrow. I can't even believe that. Yep. So Mama had to get a card. And that was $3.98. And that's it for today's little mini haul. And I will see you, I guess. Well, hello there. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please, if you wouldn't mind giving me that thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd appreciate it if you would think about doing that as well. A lot of my viewers are not subscribed, and I know that people have their own reasons of why they don't want to do that, but I am still waiting to get to 100. I go up and then I go down, which is par for the course when you have a channel, I suppose. I don't know, I'm so new at it, but I would assume people come on, they check it out, it's not for them, and they leave, which makes sense, right? That's reasonable. Anyway, so about today, it was such a beautiful day out today. I'm so happy that Jim and I decided to go. We went to get gas, as you know, and we went to Walmart, and it was 72 degrees, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. I really had spring fever out there today. So about my eating, let's think back. Well, what did you have for breakfast? Whatever I had at this point, I enjoyed. Do you see what happens to me? Well, you know what I had if you just watched the video, but it was good. And for lunch, I had my bar. We were out. That works for me. For a lot of people, it doesn't. I should have bought some carrots, but truthfully, the bar with the cup of coffee was enough. Because when I'm busy, I don't necessarily think about food, even though I'm food shopping. You would think I would, but that usually, unless I'm really hungry when I walk in, that's a dangerous thing. Yeah, and then the chicken parm dinner, it was absolutely delicious. And it was chicken breast. It wasn't like one of those cafeteria, whatever those things are, patty things. No, it was chicken breast. The sauce was quite good. I did add some of my own seasonings, as I usually do. It did need more sauce. If you want to try my trick with the V8, I don't think you'll be sorry. It makes your life a lot easier. Unless you have some marinara sauce hanging around, which I don't have a problem doing that, but then I have to defrost it, and sometimes I don't know how much I'm going to need. So if I go up to a cup on the V8, which I pretty much, a half a cup usually does it for me, I just season it up, and once it's in the microwave, the water evaporates and it's already cooked, so it becomes soft. Anyway, dessert I haven't had yet, but I love my strawberry shortcakes, and I think the way I made it, it's going to be very delicious, as it usually is. We are past these holidays. I want to talk for a minute about holidays. I am done with the eating with the holidays. I guess I know I did do a lot of baking, and I did visiting and all of that. I didn't overeat at all. I just ate things that I normally wouldn't eat. And what I wanted to chat about for a minute is what happens to us when we eat the things that could be called a trigger food. For me, if I had my Italian butter cookies that I make and my anisette toast that was my Nana's recipe that I make in my house right now, I would tell you I would have no control. And I'm being honest about it. I love them. I love them more than those kinds of things that I make, the Italian recipes. I could just eat that from here to kingdom come. Not even so much. Terry makes a wicked choice. The best. Mrs. Fields has nothing. And what's that other one? Spunkenmeyer or whatever. These people have nothing on Terry's recipe. I don't even want to know what it is because I don't intend to make it. I will just go over there and graciously accept hers when she makes them. Delicious. But even that isn't a trigger food for me, as these other two things that I just made this week are. And I'm only grateful that they're out of my house. So how do you feel about things like that? Do you have any tricks and tips to offer? We have so many new people in our group on Facebook. I think we're like at 500 people. I find that to be amazing. If anybody is watching from the group, if you want to share your thoughts in there, maybe I'll initiate the conversation. I'll make a post about it. What does everybody do when they face these things? How do you stop the binge? Do you throw it in the garbage? I know Terry told me she does that. I feed it to the raccoon. If it's a raccoon, edible. If not, I give it to Jim, which isn't, he enjoys it, but that's an alternative for me. So if you live alone, you may not have that alternative. Maybe you don't have a raccoon either. For me, I would have a hard time throwing food in the garbage, quite honestly, unless it was something that I felt didn't taste good, that I wouldn't share with anyone, including my raccoon. Then, because there are some things not good for raccoons anyway. But aside from that, I have a problem just taking food and throwing it away. I wasn't raised that way. And I would prefer to just give it to someone. That makes me very happy. I have no problem with that if I can. And giving it to the raccoon, believe it or not, takes away that feeling of I don't feel like I'm throwing it away. It's not going wasted that way. So how does everyone deal with that? I have to say, all this Easter, one weekend to the next, and then Mother's Day, I forgot all about Mother's Day. I thought Mother's Day was next weekend. I wasn't even looking at the dates. So now here we came with Mother's Day. And that was a time, even though I distinctly did not overeat on Mother's Day, I didn't overeat on any of the days. I just ate things. I had some extra sweets, and I ate things that are naturally not Nutrisystem friendly. Let's put it that way. Nothing really, really bad. I mean, what was the worst thing? Pizza and maybe the savory pie that I made, I did have a lot of salad when I was eating those things too. So, but it is hard. I have to tell you, I am not happy about it. And the only way I could think at a time when I needed to lose tremendous amount of weight and didn't take 6 months or almost a year to do it, I had to abstain altogether to the point of where I brought my food with me. And I was very content doing that. I reached a point where I just didn't have to think about it anymore. I just didn't need it. And if I didn't need it, I didn't think about it. I didn't want it. It just became that over time. When you get rid of those things in your body that are addicting, that, we keep wanting and wanting, if we start eating it, if you don't eat those things for a while, you won't look for those things anymore. I can tell you. It takes 3 months, up to 3 months. I know when I do low carb, and I've done low carb, good carb many times, low fat, low carb, good carb, I don't look for any of these things. And I don't now. I mean, I'll have my dessert tonight and I'll enjoy it because I can and it's built into my plan. But if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be looking for it, is what I'm trying to say. And that is what happens as you go down that road and you start to lose your weight. If you back off on, like I have pretty much backed off on the bread. I'm trying hard not to eat the bread because the bread just slows me up. It tends to stall me, especially now that I'm at the almost end, but this is the longest almost end ever. And I'm good with it because I know once it comes off, I will have lost 31 pounds this round, starting from last summer. And I know how I will keep it off. But for most of us, when we have a lot of pounds to lose, which to me 30 pounds is a lot, but it's not 70 pounds or 100 pounds. And I've been in those shoes too, not 100, but I had to lose a good 70 3 times. That could be a different ball game. And for me, the way I handled that, it's little kitten is playing with a box. I apologize. Is by abstaining. I'll be very honest with you. I'm not saying everyone should do that. I'm not telling anyone what to do by any means, but I'm being honest about me and how I've treated things, because I'm not doing that now. And I don't want to give people the wrong impression that this is necessarily what I would do if I had to lose all that weight again. I would say more than not, no, I would just be abstaining. And I would say, and again, it's all in, ooh, I hit the table. It's all up in here, okay? If this little light bulb or whatever thing does, the epiphany or whatever you like to call it, does not happen, I don't care what you do. You're not going to sustain it. I would be sitting here lying if I even tried to, imply that. If this up here is not in the game, however that game is going to play out for you, and that includes, to me, honestly, for me in my life, it included, not for others, I had to abstain. I loved cream in my coffee when I was on low carb. Low carb does not work for me anymore. It did when I was in my 30s. It worked great when Atkins started. Right, Terry? Worked great for both of us. I also worked full time then. I came home to a family at night. My life was different. I didn't have the opportunities to get into things or think about eating things that are not low carb. So it made it a lot easier for me. And that wouldn't work for me now. So, but did I have to make decisions about abstaining from foods? Of course I did. That diet is about abstaining from foods. So, you still have to decide. You have to decide that you're going to make your plan, whatever it is, that you're going to have to be able to live with that. And the biggest part of living with it is what is going on in here. People are talking about emotional eating. I am an emotional eater. Hands up. Okay? Definitely. Absolutely, without a doubt. And there are certain things that have to be put in place to deal with that, because that is going to come up. The minute you tell me I can't have it, if it's going to be those anisette toast and those Italian butter cookies and they're in my house, there's no way I'm not going to have it. I'll bang the door down to get to it because I have to have it. So if anyone has any suggestions, I'd be interested in knowing what you do to cope with these issues as they come up, because I think it's important for all of us, because these issues do come up. We had Easter backed up to Mother's Day. Now we're going to have barbecues for Memorial Day. And then we're going to move on from there. People are getting married. People are having communions, confirmations, graduations. All these events are happening in the next few months. To me, I really enjoy summer eating more than the other seasonal foods. Thanksgiving is one meal. Okay, you have leftovers, but it is basically one meal. Christmas is one meal. Yes, you can go to parties all in between, but it's not months and months of barbecues, and so we have to deal, because otherwise we're going to railroad ourselves and we're just going to go down that side of that mountain in the snowball and get lost at the bottom and buried, So in any event, I've rambled on Rambling Row enough. It is 12 minutes and 33 seconds. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. And thank you again for watching. And I'm going to see you in the next video.